gone up to y'all's two adjacent rooms in the Blue Water Inn, and y'all had kind of a strange couple conversations with the owner of the inn, the tavern, as well as some local hunters that kind of gave bits and pieces of information of what little they knew. Y'all kind of learned a couple of locations that they were able to kind of at least point you in certain directions regarding an individual or a wizard or some type of mage that had allegedly been involved in the coup against Strahd a little over a year ago. Also learned a little bit more about a gentleman that goes by the name of Rectavio, that is kind of like a traveling carnival guy that most kind of describe as a clown as far as his little wagon that he puts around. I think Carrick had sent R2 to kind of take a look, and it looked like where he normally sets up his tent was empty at the time. But the hunters kind of gave you an idea of where he kind of supposedly kind of holds up when he's not traveling around with his little tent of mysteries, so to speak. And I think that was about it, besides making friends with the tavern owner, who kind of offered you free room and board now, and said that he's willing to help out in any way that he can. Kind of gave you the names of some people to avoid. Speaking of which, I don't think I put those out there because they don't have little blue dots next to them. Let's see here. He talked about the burgomaster, the family that runs the town, and kind of said give him a wide berth. Kind of gave a description of him, so throw that in the journal. And then the
did I spell that right? Hell yeah, you did. No, I missed an A. Damn it. Okay.
Let's see here. Let's see where I'm looking for the other one. Oh yeah, and he discussed the Mad Mage. That's right. I was checking my notes here on the side that I typed up. Let's see here. He kind of gave you the legend of, I say not the legend, it's only happened a year ago, wrong choice of words, but basically the hearsay story of what happened, that he was able to garner some support, and they marched on Ravenloft. And I think Carrick or someone kind of asked a few questions about the altercation, the battle, and that he was kind of cursed or possessed or driven mad. That's how he kind of got the moniker of the Mad Mage. And he kind of retreated to the north, up north of the lake, and they kind of said that he's kind of gone crazy, and people don't travel up there. It's near the edge of the fog.
Oh, he looks like a treat.
So yeah, I meant to put those out there at the end of last session after they were mentioned by everybody, but there they are. So anyway, so y'all had taken that opportunity to kind of go up and discuss what y'all wanted to do, and decide kind of what direction y'all want to head.
Here comes the Grim.
Oh, let me refresh.
Yeah, I probably need to as well.
What's going on?
What's happening? What's up, buddy?
I know I feel your pain with the practice.
Long day.
They they moved my daughters since they haven't opened Shreveport's the soccer park out here. They've been practicing out at artificial field and Bossier. They've been putting her practice at like 8:15 at night, 7:15 or 7:30 at night to like 8:45.
Mm-hmm.
So get home, same thing. Get home about 9:15, and then eat.
Oh yeah, there's still craziness happening behind me. So go ahead. I don't want to hold this up.
Oh, no, sorry. I was just kind of giving a little brief recap of what happened to the people that you met and some of the people that you learned about and some of the locations. I threw out that probably didn't show up on your screen since you just logged in. I added to the journal some of the people that were mentioned and some of the background that was discussed by the hunters and by the tavern owner. I'll click show to players again so that you'll see where they're at.
I saw the Mad Mage. I saw
in different spots of your journal.
I saw the Mad Mage when I logged in. Yeah. Oh, they have dogs. They're wholesome people.
There you go. So that was it. And so, again, y'all had kind of retreated to y'all's adjacent rooms. And I'll defer to y'all. I can't remember as far as whether y'all were just kind of going up there to meet or actually taking some type of rest or what.
I think we were at the end of the day, weren't we? Weren't we taking a long rest?
Yeah, it was a long rest.
Okay. All right.
That'd be huge.
Yeah, because I already refreshed all my stuff. I'm back to
Yeah,
full.
me too. I did it.
Okay. All right. All right. So morning will break, so to speak. Before we do that, though, let's see here. I need everybody. Who are my people that only require 4 hours of sleep?
Just me and Jack.
Yeah, they're just two of us.
It's
Okay.
the elves.
Then the two of y'all roll for perception.
Mine's short rest only, so that should be more than 4 hours. Then. It's not a racial trait.
Oh, you said you only took a short rest?
No, I only require a short rest. Now, I could have easily taken a long rest, but
Well, just let me know whether you were you going to take the.
as a human, I require a long rest. I would imagine.
Well, like I said, you just let me know whether you're going to sleep through the night. The two that don't require sleeping through the night and have done it, y'all are going to be awake during some of the night. Jack is going to kind of sleep pretty soundly during his 4 hours, and then when he wakes up, he's going to kind of be involved in his own, I don't know, music composition or insult composition. So he's not really paying a whole lot of attention. But Carrick,
Tune in the bagpipes.
yeah, tune in the bagpipes. Carrick is going to notice a bit of movement in the window as you are kind of sitting there reading your book that you've been kind of studying for the past couple days. You're going to notice some movement that just kind of flashes quickly across the window. Y'all are on the second story.
Is the window open?
No, not. I don't recall y'all opening it.
I'll get up and walk over to it.
Okay.
Well, stay in the bubble though, because I assume we're in the bubble.
I believe the ones that are in your room are, which I think are the way y'all kind of divvied up. I don't know who's in who. I just stuck people in beds. So, because there were two separate rooms.
Yeah, I would.
Well, I wouldn't break the bubble. I don't guess. I would walk over to the window. If I can't reach the window, I would mage hand it open, and then I would send R2 out there.
Okay. All right. So you're going to, when this movement outside your window kind of catches your eye, you'll immediately kind of get up. Staying in the bubble, though, you're going to do your mage hand, quickly getting the window open, and you'll summon R2 and all her skeletal beauty. And she will kind of dart out as you give her the command to kind of go out there. Roll an investigation check on her.
Oh, she's terrible at that. 0.
Who has 0?
4 with a -4.
Okay. All right. All right. With that, now just have her roll a perception for sound.
That's my girl. Now we're talking. 18.
All right. She will not see anything based on her investigation. She kind of does a quick dart out there to look around. She won't spot anything, but she will perceive or hear what appears to be some rustling, kind of sounds like something's climbing or kind of drop down quickly from the second story, and you hear some rustling on the ground, and she's not able to get a good look at anything because it's kind of dark. And again, with that type of negative roll, I guess, 0. But besides the sound of movement, she will kind of be able to hear the sound of some type of animal. And I guess we'll just have to, kind of leave it at that. Just what sounds like, doesn't sound like a wolf or anything like that. It sounds to almost kind of like a chirping or a something kind of making some audible bleeps or kind of odd murmuring as it kind of dissipates, and with that, the sound kind of dissipates away, and R2 no longer detects any sound.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
is Ivan in the room with me? He's the ranger, right?
Yeah.
Wake Ivor up.
Okay.
Yep.
Say, hey, Ivor. Hey, something just kind of like went past the window and then fell down to the ground and ran off. You want to go see if you can track it?
Yeah. I mean, if I can see it.
Okay.
I went over there. I went that way.
All right. So
I'll just. Can I look out the window, or do I need to? What floor? We're on the second floor. Shit.
yeah, you're
Look for tracks
I'm not worried about traps going out the window.
on the ground.
Famous last words.
Yeah, well, it's Ivor.
I'm going to stay in the bubble, but I'll watch with R2.
I'll go look out the window and see if I can see anything headed out any direction.
We'll roll over and go back to bed.
okay. So are you gonna go down there? Or are you just gonna do it from the second story window?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna look out and see if I see anything.
Well, I mean, no. I mean, at this point, again, R2's kind of relayed all this to it, and the sound has dissipated and gone away. So you're just going to kind of see what appears to be the empty courtyard of the path that leads up to the front of the darkened tavern.
Okay, I'm gonna pop my head back in the bubble and say, "Is R2 gonna help me, or am I on my own?"
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down there watching through her. So I'll tell her to follow you. How about that?
Yeah. Okay.
If she if she taps her in the ear, then that means she's doing something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just tell her to fly the direction we think we need to go.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So you're gonna go down there with R2 assistance.
Yes.
Okay. So Ivor will kind of exit the room that he's been staying in. Will make his way outside, down the stairs, the outdoor stairs that kind of leads again to that area, that ground floor area out in front of the tavern. Ivor. He's gonna spend
He'll also badge Darut and Grim and say, "I need some help downstairs. Come out."
I'm asleep.
Yeah, he's gonna badge you anyway.
Wake up!
You don't have to come. I'm just saying he's badging.
You don't trust Carrick watching? I'm watching.
I don't trust Ivor doing much of anything with these ACs of 27.
Well, if no one heeds the badge call, then Ivor's going to continue down out to the again kind of the front courtyard area of the inn. Have Ivor roll for investigation as he looks for.
Will do.
Yeah, remember, I still don't have a badge.
Yeah, he didn't know shit.
Oh, this is going to be a great night.
We're off to a strong start.
Yeah, that's
Oh, wow.
that's a 0 and a 1.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you should come back inside.
Yeah, Ivor's going to kind of spend a good 10 or 15 minutes kind of looking around, and he's not going to spot anything. Maybe he's still kind of half asleep, and he's going to lumber back up into the room and kind of shoot.
Question, DM, and then this might be my misunderstanding, but I was under the impression that looking for tracks was a survival check.
Well, is that what he was doing?
I assume that's what I would have sent the ranger down there to do.
Well, I just thought that you were sitting down there just to kind of check things out. But yeah, if you want to specify that, then that's fine.
That's up to y'all. I'm not there. I'm in the bubble.
No, we didn't specify that, so no. I mean, next time we will, for sure.
So, like I said, you just kind of walk back up into the room and kind of shoots an eye at Carrick that says, with the kind of I didn't see anybody out there. I didn't spot anything or hear anything.
Did you look for tracks?
No.
You're the best ranger I know, man.
Yeah. Wow.
So y'all will kind of again. The Carrick, I assume, will go back to reading, but we'll keep an eye out. I assume you kind of pass that information on to Jack, who's also up.
Sure.
And Ivor's going to groan and roll off the bed, and then now we will proceed to the morning. Y'all kind of all wake up, I assume, unless someone's going to sleep in and expect y'all to bring breakfast to them in bed. Y'all will all kind of wake up and meet back up in.
What time of day did this all happen? Where Carrick spotted out the window?
Middle of the night.
Middle of the night during y'all's long rest. So it's first thing in the morning now, and y'all kind of meet up. Y'all can meet up down in the bar area or in one of the rooms, and yeah, y'all kind of tell me what y'all are going to be doing.
What should we go look for?
Should we go? Whatever y'all want to go look for.
Yes, all that.
Well,
Is there anybody downstairs in the our hotel room was at the bar, right?
Yeah, y'all are up on the second story. There's.
Is there anybody there?
I mean, y'all are in the. I mean, yeah. You can. The way this establishment is kind of set up, y'all's entrance is the stairs on the outside that kind of goes to this wing on the second floor. But you're able to poke your head out, and you're on a balcony that overlooks the interior of the establishment. So yeah, you'd stick your head out and you'd see that the number of patrons is quite small. There's it looks to appear to be 3 or 4 people with just a quick look over the railing, kind of enjoying an early morning bit of ale and some breakfast. You see the barkeep, the lady that you recognize. She's kind of working the bar, but there's not really anybody actively at the bar itself.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go down there with him.
Yeah.
breakfast time.
Ivor and Baron also.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll head down too.
Yeah.
All right.
So what's the plan?
What are you going to advise Irina to stay in the room?
No, she can come with
No,
us.
she gets her ass out here.
She gotta eat.
She's fully committed at this point.
All right.
Fully committed.
Hey, and technically we fulfilled our contract. We got her here safely.
That's right.
I guess she has her own free will, but she can choose to go or not.
Well, she's Baron's got her pretty well in disguise. So she feels comfortable, especially with you all. So she'll kind of meander down there with you all and enjoy a bit of breakfast, which is at least better than what you got back at Eric's in the village Barovia.
Well, I'll just look at everybody and be like, what are we doing today? I mean,
That is the question.
We were trying to find this vampire hunter. Did we figure out who that was yet?
We got a name.
well, we couldn't find him last time I looked for him. He's not in the city. So he's outside the city and he's not to the north.
Von Richten.
There's that guy, and then there's the crazy wizard guy, which I'm always down to talk to a crazy wizard. And then there was the carnival guy who knows about things and stuff. What were we interested in him for?
He knows magical things.
Guy.
Yeah, he's a mad mage.
He was part of the Mad Mage group, wasn't he?
No, that's somebody separate.
Is that the carnival guy?
Yeah, this guy, he knows about valuable items.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Well, I
Maybe
know, like when we gave the gold coins to the two guys, they said they were going to go ask him.
Well, we don't have any valuable items.
I love it. I love it that we're going to keep.
I mean,
I mean, if we introduce enough of it into the market, it'll be worth something.
Yeah. What about
It's a self-funding service. It's gonna be fun.
Octavio is the carnival ringmaster.
let's go see him. Because I think he knew. Didn't he know something about?
Just back up real quick. I just scrawled on once, and it failed. Then I asked if he was in Barovia or if he was here, and it was a confirmative answer. We asked the people here if he was here, and yeah, he got killed. So then I tried. What did I try to do?
If memory serves, and I could be wrong, but I don't know what order it happened in, but I believe after you'd heard the stories about the vampire hunter, when you asked your three questions, one was, is he alive? And the answer was yes. And then I think one of them was, is he here? And it was no. And then I think the last one was he in the north? And the answer was no, I think.
Right. That's right. So I confirmed he was alive. I confirmed he's not in the city, and he's not to the north of the city.
I thought he was here.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, we're kind of pulling on a chub at this point, looking around.
Rudolph?
Yeah.
Roll. I need everybody to roll perception. Oh, better than your 19.
The first one's Baron's. Second one will be Ivor.
Oh. Okay, gracious. Carrick, what was yours? Okay. So do you have R2 like summoned at this point? Okay, then you're getting some strange looks from the patrons. As far as everyone else, Grim and Jack and obviously R2 and Ivor. I couldn't think of his name because it's got Brock's name next to it.
I know.
Y'all are going to notice what appears to be some movement in a window to the south. This direction, as y'all kind of are sitting around talking, you're going to see some movement. What appears to be a small animal, kind of through the fogged glass, that's kind of sitting upright in the window, and almost just as soon as you notice it,
Ivor's going to shoot an arrow at it as soon as he notices it.
Ivor's going to do what?
Shoot an arrow at it as soon as he notices it.
Okay, then.
And I need to refresh. Or yeah, there they go.
I got everybody back now. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Then do me a favor and roll an attack roll.
Okay.
Hey, do you want to put us on the map?
Yeah, we're not in the bar.
Oh, I've been moving these tokens around, and I could have swore y'all were on the map.
Nope.
No, I realized it when you said south about
Yeah.
here, and I figured
Yeah.
you pinged a location. I was like, okay, he thinks we're on the map.
I did. I thought you were on the map. There you go. Yeah, I had moved all your-
I was gonna say that too, but I just assumed Ivor would shoot at the thing, so that's what he did.
So the south about here?
Down here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta move my. Okay.
So let's see here.
Yeah, I'm there now. Yeah, good call, James Michael, because I was like, I think we probably should be on that.
I was just operating under the assumption that y'all were on the map because
Yeah, I just realized that when he was like, about here. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah, we're not there.
we're not there.
Yeah, I was using the power of imagination.
Yeah.
So all right. So yeah, you got Ivor's gonna.
Yeah, he's
jump up.
gonna shoot. He'll use all this stuff. Hunter's mark. Let me get to it. Sorry. Hunter's mark. Regular attack.
What does this animal look like?
It appears to be a small type of almost the features of like a human, like you. It appears to be some type of simian.
So when he does that, you can disregard 1 point on that. Colossus Slayer won't count.
Did you
Okay.
kill somebody's monkey?
He did as
The carnival honors monkey.
jumps up from the table. He is going to thread this arrow as quick as he stood up, and it's going to shoot it between over the patrons' heads that are sitting at the table to the south of y'all, and it's going to shatter the window and make successful contact, and you will hear kind of like a little bit of a almost like a baby's cry or screech.
You killed a baby.
and you'll see this furry creature as the window shatters fall over backwards with an arrow stuck in its chest.
Does he have like the little hat on and like a suit?
I'm picturing an organ grinder outside with a little
Exactly. That's what I'm going for.
And as you do this, the patrons will jump up as they hear the glass crash. The barkeep will scream as she sees the arrow shoot through the thing. And then from outside, you will hear what appears to sound like a man screaming.
Hey, Jack, go.
I'm gonna look at Ivor and be like, "What the hell was that?" And I'm gonna go outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna go outside and see what's going on.
I'm gonna read my book.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stand like
Baron-
everybody stay
Baron will
calm.
follow him up. Ivor's gonna sit down. We're just gonna tell
I'm
Ivor.
gonna send R2 out to watch for me, but I'm reading my book.
All right. I don't know if I've got it enabled. Are you able to go out the door? Do I have to take you out?
Let me see.
I don't know the door. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta take me out.
So yeah,
Yeah.
some of these have restrict movements and some don't.
See the guy.
I'm not out there.
Who all's going out there?
Everybody
I,
but Ivor.
That's just me. I think Jack's coming too.
So everybody but Carrick.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm reading my book.
Ivor and Carrick
I'm
are
watching.
gonna stay inside.
I think me and Jack will probably be in the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to run to the monkey and lay hands on it, try to revive it.
Please tell me it's already failed.
So as y'all kind of round the corner and come out, you are going to see this kind of rotund, gregarious guy that's kind of dressed in this colorful garb with what appears to be like an old tattered clown or jester's hat. on his head, and he is on both knees at the base of this window, just screaming. You can see tears coming out of his eyes.
And
as,
Ivor did not go out, by the way. Baron
Oh,
went
Ivor
out.
did not.
No, Ivor
Okay.
was going to stay in with Carrot.
Okay, and he appears to be just kind of screaming and crying as you kind of round the corner. You see that he's kind of kneeling over what appears to be a small monkey with an arrow through its chest.
All right, I want to run over to him, and be like, "Watch out! Let me see the monkey," and I'm gonna try to pull the arrow out gently, doing little harm, and I'm gonna try to lay some mana into the monkey and restore it.
And in the meantime, I'm going to ask this guy why he had his monkey jump up in front of our arrow. Trying to shoot a raven out of the window.
Doing bard, I love it.
This guy is obviously distraught, and this all kind of happens very quick as this half-orc creature kind of bounds around him, putting his hands on the monkey. He's got this look of shock and disbelief through the tears, and then this bard is now asking him why his monkey jumped in front of an arrow. He looks confused, like he doesn't even know how to answer that question. It's a combination of frustration, anger, sadness, and he kind of lashes out and says, "Who did this? So in front of your arrow? Why would you shoot my monkey?"
We were. There was a raven in the trees out here. You didn't see it, and he was trying to shoot it because we feel like the raven is spying on us.
Roll a persuasion check.
Does he need to?
I just so that I can marvel at the fact that he rolls a 400.
Not rolling well.
7.
That's still a 20. Even when you don't roll well, that's a 20.
All right, so you will kind of calm him down when you say that. He will believe you, your persuasion, and say that I didn't see the raven, but please do something. This animal's the world to me.
I say, I'm on it. Calm down.
All right, so what did you do? What did you do?
I was trying to remove the arrow and lay hands on the monkey.
Okay.
That's what you do all the time. Lay hands on the monkey.
Let's do a. This is gonna be kind of an improvised task. Do a dex check for me.
Do a what?
Dexterity checks to see if you're able to remove this without pulling out his vital organs and.
Oh, geez, probably not. I'm very clunky.
I'm
not very dexterous.
going on. I'm gonna tell him to come over here with me. This isn't something you want to see. Watch your friend monkey go through. Come step over here with me. We'll talk about things.
He's gonna kind of like you see on TV, like the distraught mother as paramedics trying to save a child. He wants to stay there in front of with his friend with his monkey, but he's going to agree, and you're going to kind of successfully pull him to the side and kind of turn his back naturally so that he doesn't see what Droot's doing. As Droot tries to pull this arrow out, he's going to pull out a huge mass of just like viscous matter and hair, and the hole is obviously bigger than it was when it went in.
I'm going to walk up to Droot and be like, dude, you've done enough here.
You're supposed to push the arrow through.
I'm like, I can still do more. I can still do more.
You gotta push it through.
I'm gonna tell him, hey, go talk to Homeboy and get as much information from him as you can.
Okay. All right. Okay.
As he walks away, I'm gonna cast tongues on myself.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna grab the monkey and cast Speak with Dead.
All right.
I assume he's dead. Is he dead?
Oh yeah, he's dead now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so the hands didn't work?
No.
Oh, I didn't hear. Like, what did he do?
Well, I was trying to lay hands on him and drop some healing into him.
You can give hit points away.
Yeah, I have a pool of mana that I can just use at my discretion.
Oh, well then yes, do that. I heard you mention it, but then you were just removing the arrow. And the
Well, I
arrow.
would say like I was gonna remove the arrow and then try to lay hands on him and heal up the wound.
Oh, well, it depends on what order that you're going to do that in.
Oh no, I took the arrow out first.
But if you were going to do the hands first, I mean, I'll retcon that. If you were going to lay the hands on first, that's one thing. But if you pulled that arrow out, that was the knife and
Okay. No, I killed it. Okay. I definitely pulled the arrow out first, and then was gonna lay hands.
Technically, you didn't. Ivor's the one that did it.
Okay.
No.
I'm kind of excited to hear Grim talk to a dead monkey, though.
Okay.
I know, I kind of am too.
So Drute will get up at Grim's behest, and you'll kind of walk over there and put a hand on his shoulder and let him know that there was nothing that could be done. And,
no, I'm gonna go to the guy and be like, "Hey, don't worry about my friend, the dwarf is he's a priest type man, a very holy man. He has lots of healing magic. I think it's all gonna work out well. Just
Okay,
give us
when
some
you
Yeah,
say-
I've kind of got my arm on his shoulder, kind of walking him away from it, so what brings you to Barovia? Type of
so as you kind of say that, Jack, and Drew kind of walks up and does the same thing as y'all kind of lead him from the carnage. He will kind of look when you mention the cleric. He says, "I know that you are gentlemen of great power. That is why I sought you out. Please save my monkey." And then y'all will kind of lead him away as Grim has now picked this basically stuffed animal up and is looking into its blank eyes and is about to speak to a dead monkey in its own native tongue. No, I don't want a banana.
First question is why you spawned through this window?
Let me see. Is he able to hold a normal conversation, or is it like in?
I get 5 questions. Anything that he knew in life, he has to answer honestly. If he doesn't know the answer, he can tell me that too.
It's not only Grim that understands the monkey; everyone understands the monkey.
So I'm sorry, I was reading something. Say it again.
So the way tongues works is he's casting tongues on the monkey, and then it says when the target speaks, any creature that knows at least one language can hear the target, understands what it says.
Gotcha. What I was specifically asking Grim, I was just checking to make sure. Does he get is it like broken? Like one of the things you do, it's like short answers, or is this full conversation?
No, this is a full answer. It's not cryptic. It's not. But he can choose to be evasive. If he thinks that I had anything to do with his death, he can choose to be evasive.
Okay. Well, he's simply gonna say because my master had asked me to observe and watch you and find out a little bit more about you.
Who does your master work for?
He's going to say himself. He doesn't work for anyone but himself.
Where do you come from?
He says that I come from the valley here. I was created with a spell.
Okay.
Way to go, Ivor.
Two more questions. Why are you here today?
Why is he here today?
Yeah.
I was here today to further watch you and to make sure that your intentions in town were as reported were honorable.
Does your master intend us any harm?
No, he was trying to make sure that he could trust you. He was attempting to help your cause.
So when he died, he didn't dissipate like a familiar?
No, correct.
Is this building that we're next to that he got murdered, the murder window, is this building stone?
Stone. Let me check. Let me go to the description real quick. Blue Water Inn. It's a wooden building, but it has a stone foundation. The building itself is wooden, but the foundation is stone.
So as soon as I'm done my questioning, he's back to dead.
Okay. So his tongue will now go back to sticking out of his mouth instead of speaking, and he will just kind of collapse in your hands.
All right. Well, I'm going to use one more spell real quick. I'm going to stone shape a little hole in the bottom of this foundation and stuff the monkey in it, and stone shape it closed. And then I'm going to use thaumaturgy to make the sounds of a monkey running off through the woods.
All right. So, hold on. Let's see. He'll have to roll a pretty, I guess, decent. He doesn't have a. Let's see here.
So I can make a continuous noise that originates within range of a cry of a raven or ominous whisper or something like that.
His stat block, he's got a passive perception of 10. His stat block doesn't have like a perception roll per se, so I'm going to just roll an intelligence.
Perception is wisdom, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, perception's wisdom.
It is.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. I meant to say wisdom. Sorry. I was looking at my sheet over here. Wisdom. There we go. Oh, all right.
Oh, snap.
So, yeah, despite being talked to by the two adventurers that are trying to console him over his dead monkey, he will hear what appears to be the sound of a monkey noise, and then he'll kind of, as quick as he tries to turn, he's going to hear the sound you generated, and to him, it's going to sound like this monkey, his pet monkey's kind of gone running off away from the building and kind of out of sight, and he's immediately going to kind of turn and pull away from Jarut and Jack from that sound, and he's going to kind of be scanning quickly, and he's going to start calling his monkey. You'll hear him kind of say, "Piccolo, Piccolo,
Piccolo."
And I'm going to run up to him and be like, "Dude, I tried to bring him back. He got scared and ran off."
I'm going to tell him it's true. I saw him run through the woods over this way.
He'll kind of again kind of collapse to his knees and has kind of like a Stella moment. It's Piccolo.
Get over. There's plenty more monkeys in the woods.
No, I'll just console him. Like it's okay. Just give him some time. I'm sure he's scared. He'll come back.
You want to help you look for him?
Huh?
I was asking if he wants us to help him look for him.
He says, "Please." He, again, at this point, he is so distraught. Like he's got kind of like the squirrel mentality. He's trying to answer questions, but at the same time, every time he goes to say something, he goes and calls Piccolo's name again. He's just completely distraught at the fact that now his monkey is wounded in his runaway. He's like, "Please, who can help me find my monkey?" And he's just solely focused on Piccolo's safety, and he begins to kind of walk away in the direction of the sound where it sounded as if his monkey went running.
I'm like, "Whoa, God, what's your name, buddy? Real quick." We'll find your monkey. He's fine. Trust me. He got up, he ran away. He just got spooked for a minute.
It's kind of like
when death is an experience. You can ask this guy.
It's kind of like when your parents tell you that your first dog Ranger's at the farm. Only in this case, he's stuffed in a stone under the building.
He didn't know that.
He's gonna turn to you and say, "Blinsky, get off Blinsky."
I'm gonna look over at Grim and Jack and kind of give them eyes like, "Hey, let's get away from the crazy guy."
Yeah, what did he say his name was?
Get off.
Gandalf Blinsky.
Gadolf.
Gandalf.
Gandalf, well, calm down for a second, and let's. What are you doing here? I mean,
Make a. I guess that would be maybe a persuasion check to maybe try to calm him down a little bit.
maybe. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I'm better with dead things. Maybe we should kill him.
The awful person that wanted our help.
All right. He didn't roll super higher than you, so I mean he hasn't calmed down, but he calms down a little bit, but he's still kind of distraught over the monkey. But what was the question again?
What's he doing here?
Him, Gadolf.
Yeah.
He says, I reside here. This is my home. I'm the local toy maker here.
I know. What are you doing right here outside this bar at the window with the monkey?
Specific question.
He kind of looks at you and he goes, I was, and he kind of drops his head a little bit and he says, I was trying to, I was watching you. I was trying to find out more about you. Word came to town that, or word came to me that y'all had arrived in town, and I was interested to meet you.
It's a website for people like you.
Yeah. Word came. Who did the word come from?
Make a persuasion check again. He does not kind of answer that question, but he as far as who, but he does provide an answer in that he says, word travels fast in this village, and I have the luck of knowing many people here and many people all around. I've traveled the valley, and when I learned of your arrival, I had hoped that maybe it was a blessing based on the things that I've heard.
Can I walk him, Baron, walk up to him, or
yeah.
He just wants to ask. Baron wants to ask him, what have you heard? What do you know about us? And be specific as far as who you're including in the us.
While they talk, I'm going to take a few steps away and start yelling, Piccolo! Piccolo!
Meanwhile, Ivor is in there picking his teeth with an arrow.
Just relaying the dead monkey shenanigans to Ivor. We got a good laugh.
And
who all knows the monkey's not actually alive at this point? Is my question.
Only you, I think.
Yeah, because Jack would have heard the sound as well, and so I think you're no one would know that
you buried it and made up bullshit.
Baron kind of walks up to him and kind of interjects his question, and he looks at you, and then as he does, he kind of looks around, and his voice kind of goes a little bit quieter, and he says, from my understanding, y'all have done something that hasn't been done in ages. Y'all defeated Strahd, and at least temporarily.
That should happen way over there, and we're over here. I didn't find out about it.
Yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the day ago. You weren't there.
That was
It was like 7 miles away.
And okay,
my first
question was
defeated him in the tavern.
Yeah, my first question was who are we to you, and how do you know who we are?
Again, as far as the how, he says the same thing. If you want, you can make a persuasion roll to see if you do better than Grim.
I didn't. Maybe.
Oh,
Oh,
nice. All right. So with that, we'll say Ty goes to the runner on that. He's going to again kind of speak in that hushed voice, and he's going to say, "I have many connections in town, and there are two gentlemen, two hunters here that are. If you get enough liquor and ale into them, they are free flowing with information. And they talked about some people that had arrived in town and a meeting with the owner. And that's how he imparts that he found out that y'all were here. And based on what these guys told you in the meeting that they had, that they kind of divulged, he kind of put two and two together. He says that he heard the bell, which they've only read about, but usually, based on what he's read, that means someone has done significant to lessen Strahd's power, so to speak. And
I'm gonna straight up tell them I was lying to the bartender. I've never met Strahd.
For sure.
okay. And when you say that, you can kind of see a almost like a look of disappointment come across his face, almost as if he's now kind of become further depressed, more so than that the loss of the monkey, but now hearing that what he has heard is not true. He kind of sags his shoulders and drops his head and simply says, then I guess we will be forever cursed by the blight of Strahd. And he kind of slumps and he kind of turns to walk away.
Okay. I've been talking to him for a minute, so I'm gonna do Know My Enemy.
Okay.
And for his character class, above or below, what are we, 11 or 12?
Y'all are 11,
Okay.
and he is far below.
Far below? Okay. And then I guess Constitution, which would be...
He's a flat 10.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I think I'll step away from him.
If he's turning to walk away towards his monkey, I'm going to grab him on the shoulder and be like, listen, he took off pretty quick. You said you make toys?
He says, yes, well, I mean, there's not really a market for them anymore. But he says that was kind of my trade. And I travel the valley to the different cities. And I had hoped, again, you can kind of see that he is, again, he was upset and distraught over the monkey, but now he kind of seems depressed after the conversation he just recently had with Baron. He says, I had hoped to come here and find the saviors of the valley, and it appears that I have been misled or provided misinformation. And
He kind of got a loud mouth on him, so...
just point of order. I'm still over a few feet away yelling, Piccolo! Piccolo, come back!
Yeah, maybe Jack can talk to him, but
Yeah.
he kind of seems like he's sharing too much information to strangers. I don't know.
No, hey, listen, I can't guarantee we're going to find your monkey and that you'll ever see him again. But I can promise you one thing. If you get me 500 gold pieces worth of diamond, we'll find that monkey.
he says, I don't have any diamonds.
Well, then we'll do our best. I'll walk off yelling Piccolo.
So again, he's he just kind of looks depressed. He begins to kind of, like I said, kind of walk away. And so y'all kind of are kind of standing around as he kind of walks off. It kind
I
of,
want to holler when he's walking away. Where's your shop? Just in case we find the monkey, we'll try to get him back to your shop.
I'd have to pull up the.
Oh, you know, I mean, he can just tell me. You don't have to tell us about the map.
Yeah, he'll say it's. He kind of says up the street. He kind of describes what's going on, or sort of where he does his business, and then he doesn't like necessarily leave, but you can kind of see him kind of walk far off where he heard the sound, and he's continuing to call Piccolo.
While he's walking off, I was like, oh, listen, hey, this Piccolo monkey of yours, where'd you get him at? I mean, I'm looking for one myself.
Ooh, good question.
He kind of turns back to you and he says, "It matters not."
I'm in the market for him.
Actual question.
Can I find one in the valley here, or did you get him somewhere else?
He says, I have a question for you. He says, where I got the monkey is hard to explain, but I came looking.
Oh, it's gonna be hard to explain.
I came looking for the individuals that helped move precious cargo, a friend of mine. Are you or are you not those gentlemen?
I mean,
Precious cargo.
we do move items.
Turns out we move items. Oh, we do.
Are you referring to like golds and gems, or are you referring to like more of the human cargo?
He kind of looks at you and says, "Human."
Once upon a time, we did that.
He
Like last night.
he kind of looks at you and says, "Has that cargo made it safe?"
Yes, the Grey Goose has landed.
And as he kind of looks at you, kind of mulling or kind of munching over that information, kind of the way that you delivered it, he says, how can I know? Is there any way that you can prove to me that I can trust you?
I mean, we're having this conversation, and I saved your monkey.
You kind of went all robot on me. I couldn't understand you.
I said, I mean, we're still having this conversation, and I did save your monkey. So obviously, I'm here to help you. I'm not here to cause you ill will.
He kind of looks and says, "You have to understand. Surely you know by now, if you've spent any time in the valley or in the settlements, that he has eyes and ears everywhere."
Well, I mean, maybe he can find your monkey, but
you get to make an insight check and a perception check.
okay.
Oh, there you go.
No, that's persuasion. Sorry, persuasion.
Didn't matter.
Perception is 19, passive, but
All right. As far as the perception, you can't really read anything from his body language, but the insight based on the things that he's talking and the tone of voice that he's doing, it seems like he genuinely wants to talk to you, but he has this definite fear of saying too much, just based on obviously occupational hazard with where y'all are at. So, but you do get the feeling that he does want to talk to you, but he just doesn't feel comfortable doing it. That based on the tone of his voice, that the way that he's saying things.
all right. Well, I will look at him reading his body language and be like, "Listen, I can tell you're shaking." here, and you're asking questions about things you shouldn't know about. So, what is your relation to the cargo?
He says, we are friends.
I mean, can Baron's hearing this, right?
Check that. Do I believe that they're friends?
Make an insight check.
Is my mic working or not?
I hear you now. Oh yeah, he's telling the truth.
Okay. I want you to go inside in like 2 minutes and sit at the table.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk over to Baron and say, hey, I'm going to walk away from him and go to Baron and say, hey, take your girl upstairs to the balcony.
Yeah, I'm going up there.
Okay.
Well, apparently.
What I'll do is come in here if I can.
Yeah, let's see here. I'll drag you in, and
We don't have to do it. We can just
Yeah,
say
we don't literally have to do it. But
okay.
I will just go to
It's running smooth on my end, but all right, yeah, all right. So, he will kind of again. You can kind of tell that he really wants. It's almost like he's desperate to talk to you, but at the same time, he's very fearful. But he kind of takes your suggestion because obviously he's just almost desperate at this point for an ear. And he will walk inside the main entrance as Baron goes along the outer entrance to the stairs up to y'all's loft and room balcony area.
with Irina or Carla Jean.
Carla Jean was inside.
Yeah, no, okay, we can. I think the plan was to go on the inside of the banister of the hotel, right?
Yeah, I wanted him to go sit at a table and then.
No,
Right. Then you'll need to message somebody in there because the entrance is you have to go out and go along to that side of the.
I think there's a banister right here.
No, that banister that y'all's room is over here. This leads up
I
to,
know. I'm not trying to go to the room. I'm just trying to go stand on the banister with her.
Okay, then you'll go in ahead of them and grab her and go up.
Yeah,
those stairs. Okay, I got you.
Exactly.
I want him to wait until we got everybody inside.
Gotcha. Those stairs will lead up to the other half of the rooms
Correct.
opposite on the upper balcony. So you'll kind of go in and take her and motion her up. After Baron gives the all clear, the rest of y'all will kind of go in there with Blinsky.
I'm going to go in right ahead of him and tell him to go have a seat and look on the banister. And once he's happy with what he sees, meet me back outside.
Okay. He will sit down and he'll kind of take a look at the banister in the direction that you've kind of given him the heads up to do. He's going to have a hard time recognizing anyone besides Baron who's standing up there because of the garb and the kind of the disguise that she's wearing. So I mean, he will look up there and he'll see Baron standing next to somebody kind of heavily disguised with a hood and kind of their face kind of obscured. But I assume that she'll be given instructions to kind of pull it back a little bit. Just
I'm going to
enough.
ask her first. Do you know this person?
When he walks in and sits down, and then you turn and ask that question, she will nod. She will say, "Yes, that's Gadolf. He is someone that's visited our town numerous times. He's actually one of the potential contacts that I had come here to." Necessarily find safety with, but that I know here, and he's also the one that had kind of given us reason to believe that the Van Richten was here, and which is why we sent the letter or tried to send a letter here.
Okay. I'll tell her to, pull her hood back just enough so he can see your face, and then stay here. I'll go down and talk to him. And don't move. Put your hood back on, and we'll deal with this.
Okay. She does exactly what you say. He when he sees her pull back the hood, he's almost rises out of his chair with a smile, glad to see her. But he remembers the instructions that he was given by Grim, and he didn't want to piss off the dwarf. So he goes back outside and meets back up with Grim and I guess Droot. At this point, Carrick and Ivor are just kind of watching people come and go. And
I mean, I'm aware of what's going on, so I'll follow him outside.
Drew, did you find the monkey?
Drew's muted.
So Blinsky will come back to you, Grim, and he will kind of come up to you and stick his hand out to shake it and say, thank you for getting her here safely.
Well, you're welcome. I mean, that was part of our deal.
What are your plans now that she's here safe?
He says,
Step away for 1 second. I'll be right back.
okay. He says, as far as plans, he says, I wish I had some ingenious plan to keep her safe from Strahd. The only thing I know is that she was at her most vulnerable and in the most dangerous place, being there in the shadow of the castle. We needed some way to kind of get her under cover, to at least buy her some time. Obviously, you know her predicament. He's taken an infatuation with her, and he's hunted her on several occasions, and she's been bitten twice. And she is a dear friend.
So Carrick followed him outside. I'm standing out there now. I just can't move out there. And
Okay.
no, I won't do that. I want to do something so I'll say, well, you have heard stories of us and what we're here to do. We understand that there are other people that know more about what we want to do. And we're looking for someone.
He kind of with now knowing that Irina's here and kind of getting a nod from her and the conversation, he goes, you seek Van Richten.
Yeah. Do you know where he is? People here tell us he's dead.
He says, I have reason to believe that he is not dead. I have reason to believe that he survived the attack on Strahd's castle over a year ago, and I'm not entirely sure how he's managed to avoid Strahd's ever seeing eye, but I believe, or I have reason to believe, that he has been in Valakai, and I believe that he may be making the tower out on Bartok Lake his home.
The tower on Bartok Lake?
But that's where the guys told us the carnival guy was.
Yep.
He nods and he says, one of the sad things about my friend Piccolo was that he was I thought he was an extremely sneaky little friend. Apparently he was not sneaky enough for you all, but I have been able to use him on more than one occasion to find out things that go on in this town, as well as all over the valley in my travels. I've had occasions to visit with and speak with and even spy on the carnival master. His name's Octavio, and based on the things that I've spied and seen, I don't know for certain, but I have reason to believe that he might be the fabled vampire hunter, Rudolph van Richten. And knowing the plight of Irina and her brother Ismark, I had, in my last travel, kind of let them know that my suspicions that he might be there, and because of the situation that they were in, they were going to attempt some way to find him or contact him, even though I wasn't necessarily sure that my suspicions were accurate.
Carla Jean. Okay, so when Irish shot at that monkey, it was a monkey, not a skeleton monkey.
Correct. It was a standard monkey.
Yeah, ripped its guts out.
Yeah, I know.
Head guts.
Hey, that's
That's
what I would have done. Sorry.
Hey,
Console Gandalf that his monkey was very sneaky because we totally didn't see it while we were shooting at that raven.
That's actually really funny.
he looks at you and he goes he doesn't really have a response to that, but you can kind of see him kind of tear up. He goes, Piccolo was one of a kind. I'm not sure where he came from or what where he called home. I just know that when he found his way to my doorstep, we became fast friends, and he had a penchant for finding things.
He's out there somewhere.
I'm sure he's going to find his way back to your doorstep any day now.
But that's kind of what he tells you. His suspicions is that he's by no means some type of whisper of children. What do they call it? What was I forgot it in Game of Thrones? Whatever Varys was. He's by no means some master spyman, but he does have kind of a way to find out information in his travels, and his monkey did a lot of his spying. But again, he kind of relays that he has the suspicions that this Carvel master, who kind of regales these stories of far-off lands and these absurd tales and adventures, he's seen things and heard things in his spying that leads him to believe that he's maybe not what he seems. And some of these stories that he's told mirror in some way previous things told by Van Richten, who was in the village over a year ago.
Well, you seem to have your pulse on the town. Who around here is loyal to Strahd?
He says, the Wachter family, Lady Fiona, she makes no bones about it. She happily serves Strahd and is, from my understanding, looking for ways to get rid of the current reigning burgomaster, the Valkovich family, who, while completely incompetent and their greed and pride knows no bounds, they at least want Strahd gone. However, if she has her way, she would see them have their heads put on pikes out front. So I would give her a wide berth.
You should kill her.
What was her name?
Yeah, lady. Yeah,
No,
Fiona. Oh, perfect.
Maybe Fiona has a dragon spawn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, unless you want to accompany us to this tower that you speak of,
I'll pull up my map and ask him where it's at. Generally speaking.
I guess I need to find a picture without the monkey now.
Yeah, no more monkey.
Gone forever.
All right.
Yeah,
So
that was my bad. I mean, Irish bad.
All right. He will pull. You'll pull out that map that Ismark had kind of given you, and you'll find the town of Valakop on Lake Zarovich. He'll kind of point to a spot to the west, right on the Lake Baratok.
Well, I think we're gonna beat feet that way.
We're right here right now, right?
Correct.
Correct.
So that looks like it's what, another 4 or 5 miles ish.
I have to pull out the distance finder, but yeah, if you've already done it, sounds about right.
I mean, it's a couple hours walk, so I'm saying it's not going to be like a whole day to get there.
No.
3.3 is the crow flies.
Hey, that's 1 hour.
I'll just ask him, have you been there? Obviously, you spotted this guy.
He kind of looks at you. He goes, "No, I have been. I've passed it by as I've traveled to Kreksk. I give that place a wide berth based on the horrible things that I've heard there. I have seen his carnival wagon out front, but I get no closer than that. My spying has all been when he sets up his tents in Valakai or Kreksk."
Well, let me ask you this: from right here where we're at to there, or in that vicinity, what is the safest way to get there?
He says, "My friend, as crazy as it may sound, the road itself is probably the safest. If you've spent any time in the woods, you know that not only are there different types of creatures and animals that can track you and hunt you, but in some cases the trees themselves come to life. I would stick to the main road."
Well, let me ask you this: what horrible things have you heard about that place?
He will tell you that. Good question. Let's see here. Let me find it.
I mean, that's kind of the direction your monkey ran. So
Right. He says that the stories tell that the tower used to belong to an arch wizard that was a servant of Strahd. And at some point there was a period of time where that was for Strahd's purposes. That was a kind of like a smaller satellite, I guess we call it satellite office that Strahd used to kind of keep eyes on the western part of the valley, since his home and his castle is in the eastern part. This particular wizard is said to have enchanted the tower with all kinds of dark magic. But there was, from what he understands, at least the legends, that there was a falling out between Kazan and Strahd. Some say that Kazan tried to overthrow or destroy Strahd, and in turn, Strahd destroyed him. And ever since that time, the castle's kind of fallen in disrepair over the centuries.
Eric's like packing up his shit and ready to go. Wizard Tower, former. So, and the vampire hunter supposedly lives there?
Supposedly he is the vampire hunter.
Yeah, so the vampire hunter lives in the Mad Mage's former tower.
That's not the Mad Mages.
Oh.
Yeah, I know there's multiple wizards. The Mad Mage lives supposedly in the north, in a tower to the north.
Yeah.
Kazan, they just call that one the Mad Mage. Kazan is actually a formal name. Kazan was an employee or a servant of Strahd. But that was where he stayed. But now, allegedly, the carnival master, Rictavio, kind of makes that his home when he's not traveling the valley.
Gotcha.
What does he know about the Mad Mage that lives up north?
He says, he kind of laughs. He says, "Friend, the only thing I would fear as much or possibly close to Strahd would be that creature or that being. He hasn't been seen in quite some time, but when he was, the rumors are that Strahd, because we're told that he partook and led part of the with Van Richten. He led part of the group to attack Castle Ravenloft, but instead of destroying him, he cursed him and made him mad, and he took refuge in the tower, stripped of many of his magical items, but not of his power. He said shortly thereafter he could be seen at the north part of the lake, lightning crashing from above and then from below into the sky, probably from him. He is crazy by all accounts, and a magician that is crazy is not one to be trifled with.
Sounds like he just needs a hug.
All right, good talking.
All right. Are you gonna hang out here? Or are you gonna go with us?
I have no plans to approach that tower. Again, I want to. I know Van Richten has the same agenda as you. He's marched on him once before, but I'm not going to approach that tower.
All right. Well,
I could see either one of these guys. It's up to you guys.
Wizard Tower.
all right. Wizard Tower. Hey,
Major for the
No.
Vampire Hunter.
Talk to Rictavio at the Wizard Tower, I guess.
a second.
Are we gonna swing by and see the Mad Mage afterwards?
Why not? Let's see how this.
Okay, this is Brandon out of game. Rictavio supposedly has information about the hunter Van Helsing.
Van Richten? Yeah.
No, according to Blinsky, he believes that Rictavio and him are one and the same.
Yeah,
They're the same person.
Well, even better. Okay, great. Then that's it. That's the same plan. We're going to find the hunter. Let's do that.
Yes. Yeah,
All right.
I'll agree to give the just a Mad Mage kind of sounds cool.
I'm on board for that too. But
Let's go see the hunter.
Tower Vampire are in the same place. That's where Eric wants to go.
Maybe we have a +1 going to see the Mad Mage if we see him first.
Plus, the original plan was to find the hunter. That's why we came here.
Yeah. So let's stick on the original plan for now.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell him to beat feet and look for his monkey, and we're going west.
Well, I want to go back upstairs and talk to Irina one more time.
No, she's coming with us.
Oh yeah, I don't think she's staying here.
Well, I'm going to go up there first and her alone then.
Well, I'm with her. I'm with her right now. So you can talk with her, but I stayed up on the banister with her. So
Eric making a move.
Oh yeah, it's about to get hot and steamy up in here. So I'm gonna go talk to Irina real quick.
Okay.
with the Baron next, like right there,
I'll just awkwardly look at Baron,
and he'll stand.
edge a little bit closer to Irina, and I'll say, "So, Strahd's bitten you twice."
You kind of almost out of like instinctively, like it's a reflex. She kind of nods while she touches the area under the cloak, where near her neck, and she kind of nods and says yes.
I don't know if this will work, but with your permission, I'd like to try something.
She says, "Sure. I mean, you've already turned me into a bird and let me, fly as the crow does. Sure."
Carrick will awkwardly reach forward and stroke the side of her face and touch her neck where her bites are.
I can see Carrick doing it awkwardly, like she said.
And then,
She says, "Just pretend I'm a book."
and then a few arcane phrases and cast remove curse on her.
in this particular instance, that's not going to do anything.
Okay. It was worth a shot. One more.
She does. She kind of looks and waits a few moments, and then she says, "I don't know. I don't know what you've done. I don't feel any different. What is something going to happen?"
I'll just kind of like awkwardly like stay in that like face to face for like a hair too long, and then back away and walk out of the room.
Well, Baron will say that happens a lot. Don't worry about it.
All right. So with that, I mean, it's only been maybe with all this an hour or two, about an hour and a half or so. So it's still pretty early in the morning. Y'all you said y'all gonna head west?
Yeah. Do we still have horses? Did we come into town with them?
Yeah, y'all didn't specify what you did with them, but I just assumed y'all parked them outside. Y'all passed some when y'all first came into the village. Y'all passed some. I forgot the name of it. I told y'all about it. It was the place with animals and stuff.
Yeah, you told us. You don't like a livestock place.
Yeah, that's exactly what the livestock place. You saw some horses, cows, and things in some barns. And
My horse is dead right now, though.
So yeah, I just assumed that y'all parked them there.
All right, we'll grab them and head west.
All right, y'all will kind of load up. Are y'all going to be? I forgot how many horses you had because I know Drew had one. When can you bring?
Well, I can do it anytime. It was just we retconned last time because I didn't tell you I used the spell, and you said it would have changed the reaction.
Yeah,
so we
right.
retconned that I didn't summon.
That's right. So y'all will walk to the edge of town, and once you're past the gate, I assume then you will conjure your spectral horse.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right.
Yeah.
So
how many horses do we have?
Yeah, 3 horses plus a rope.
yeah.
Okay. So,
So-
we got enough for everybody, even Carla Jean.
She can double it up.
I'm sure that Carrick will be more than happy to Oreo that with Baron.
Bear?
Oreo.
Oreoing? Oh boy.
I'm in the back. That's all I'm saying.
So y'all are just on the map, just on the outskirts, on the western outskirts, past the gate of the village of Malachi, and y'all begin your trek to the west. Y'all will cross the bridge, and again, similar to before, y'all will kind of come to a crossroads. Carrick will pull out the map that Ismark had provided, and you'll kind of see that, at least by the map that he's kind of sketched you, that the main roads kind of splinter off in different directions, and y'all kind of tell me which way y'all want to go.
To the tower.
Yes, north to the tower.
All right, so y'all will take the shorter route to the north. Y'all will turn right at the crossroads and head north.
I'm sure Carrick's wand is poking her in the back.
No, I'm in the back. So I don't have a wand. I can borrow a wand.
All right. Y'all's trek will be uneventful and easy going. It's by Barovia standards a pretty nice looking morning. Again, overcast as always, but y'all kind of make your way without any type of impediment, and y'all will kind of arrive. Just to the south of the towers, you kind of break the tree line. You will kind of see to the north what appears to be off in the distance, north of the lake, some trees and the kind of the rock kind of rising up. It's going to be what appears to be some rocky bluffs behind it. You're going to see. Let's see here. The tab. All right. As you kind of head north on the road, the road becomes less well traveled. It starts to kind of get muddy, and there's kind of layers and layers of mud on the road as you kind of approach. There appears to be some type of like kind of causeway, little barren causeway that kind of leads out, and as you kind of approach, you see this decrepit looking tower off in the distance that appears to be kind of collapsing on portions of itself, not completely as far as it's not a collapsed tower, but almost kind of like the Leaning Tower of Pisa type thing. I mean, it doesn't look like it's seen a good bit of construction in a while. You see some scaffolding that's collapsed and clinging to one side with ropes that have kind of worn away, and debris on the ground around it. You see some statues, some griffin statues that are kind of flanked on each side, perched on each side of kind of a buttress that supports the walls around it. And parked kind of near the base of the tower, within sight of the entrance, you do see what appears to be some type of barrel-topped wagon. It's splattered with mud too. It appears to be fresh mud, like it's traveled recently. And you kind of see that parked out front.
I'll turn to Jack and just quietly say, "I'll bet you a silver I ever trust to buy this place."
Tell him that's a sucker's bet.
Sucker's bet. Nice. Yeah, that'd be a good spot for Ivor.
It looks like he's home. Are there any lights on the windows or anything? Any smoke from the chimneys?
No. You kind of notice that there does not appear to be any lights or anything on. In fact, you really have a hard time. You don't really see any windows. It almost seems like, with the exception of things that have kind of collapsed and bits of rock that are missing, it appears to just kind of be just a lone stone tower with really the only thing that appears to be some type of entrance or door is the main, what appears to be two large stone encased wood encased doors with stone. It's kind of like a stone border with heavy, thick wood in the middle of the stone that appears to be the main entrance at the front of the tower.
So the bits of rock that are missing are not in the tower above, like the door?
No, it's like kind of like just over time, like pieces of the tower have kind of fallen out or collapsed and crashed to the ground type thing.
But
how close are we at this point?
Let's see. We're gonna say y'all are about we'll say about 30 to 45 yards away. Y'all have kind of crossed about a portion of the causeway. Y'all are kind of right about there. And in fact, if the map is, I haven't looked at this map in a while. Let me see where it starts at, and it starts y'all a little closer. So I don't want to assume that. So yeah, y'all are kind of on that portion. Y'all are kind of at the entrance of that causeway. That's kind of like this barren plot of mud that kind of stretches out, bridging the mainland to the tower on this little island.
And we don't see any movement on the part of the tower.
The only I think Carrick made the comment to the group. The only evidence that someone's there would be this wagon with this kind of seems to be freshly covered in mud.
What would be the height of the tower if we had to estimate it?
If you had to estimate it, it's roughly between 80 and 100 feet tall.
And there's no. You said there are broken stones, but no broken stones that would be something you can get into?
No, it would be, I mean, there are like little missing stones. I mean, there's holes in the tower, yes. You don't see anything that appears to be traditional windows, so to speak, is what I was saying. But yeah, I mean, there are holes where there are stones missing and things like that. Absolutely.
I'm going to look at the group and be like, hey guys, I got this. Hold on. and I'm gonna go riding up to the castle.
Mm.
Oh boy.
All right.
I'm gonna. Baron's gonna say Fandolin and jump in the water.
You're eating a lot in this monster.
That's fine.
Fandolin. I tell you what, I'll move y'all's tokens back, and we'll just say for scale, I'll try to move y'all back as far as I can, and then I'll drag y'all to the map. That'll be.
Oh, it's all right. I'm approaching.
Right. I
no.
because Wizard Tower.
No, I know you're approaching. I just so that you'd have the visual. I figure it'd be. Here we go. So since he's the only one that's approaching, we'll just say y'all are kind of staying back on the causeway. So he's going to be the only one that's approaching the tower. So, all right. So as you kind of approach the tower on Harak, as you get closer, you will see with greater clarity this wagon. It appears to again be purple with some fancy gold trim and fancy gold swaths of paint over the purple. It's pretty garish as far as, well, kind of like LSU colors. And it's
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You see some brass lanterns that kind of hang on each corner, and some red drapes that cover the portion of the back where it looks like maybe the door would be. You kind of see that as you kind of ride forth on Harak, fastly approaching the building.
All right. As I approach the steps, I'm going to get off Harak. I'm going to dismount. And then I'm going to walk up to the door, and I'm just going to knock.
Watch out, boys. It's something funny.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk. I mean, at least halfway. I'm not gonna let him.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
Yeah, I'm ready to get.
It's cool, guys. I got this. Hold on.
Okay. Hold on one second.
Yeah, I don't trust you to talk to strangers by yourself.
All right.
I will.
You know I love talking to strangers.
Get an angle over here on the door.
All right. I need you to make a dex saving throw.
Oh, dang.
And you've got to beat a 17.
I'll be knocking on no doors.
Yeah. Don't be walking on carpets and shit.
Nope.
All right. When you touch the door, a humongous bolt of lightning crashes from, it almost seems to emanate from the building, and you take 22 points of lightning damage.
All right. Is this some kind of spell?
This is some type of spell.
The reason I ask is because I am resistant to spells. So if it's a spell effect, then I'll take half damage.
Okay.
Dang, and I don't have my lightning armor anymore. It would have been halved again.
All right, so you'll take 11 points of damage as you do this, and anybody within 10 feet must succeed on that as well.
God damn.
Are you that close up, or are you further away?
He moved up.
What is it? Dex save?
Yes, 17 or better.
Do I still get the benefit of his aura?
Yeah, you do. If you're within 10 feet of me, you do.
Oh no.
Don't need that.
Whoa!
Oh,
So
that's
you'll take half damage at 11.
And it's resistant as well. You get the resistance of my aura as well.
So that's half. So two points, 2.5, 3 points.
All right. And then as this lightning crashes around you, as the smoke kind of clears, you begin to see before you an appearance of a dragon.
A dragon?
Yeah, so when the lightning hits, Carrick's gonna, do that.
And everyone roll for initiative.
I'm
This guy's
currently in
supposed to
the
be
water
friendly.
right now.
A dragon just popped out of nowhere?
Yes, it popped out of nowhere.
I thought this guy was supposed to be friendly.
Well, he's got his alarm system on.
That would be correct.
All right, I'll roll for Ivor. I'm in the water, so
I'm assuming you're coming out though when you see a dragon up here.
oh.
You would assume wrong.
I would assume wrong.
That's
In the backstroke over there.
Ivor. Did that pop up for Ivor? 12. Yeah.
Blowing fire out in front of his mouth.
I still remember when we stormed the castle in the swamp and that black dragon blew the acid through the windows on us. I was like, oh snap, that was great.
Baron can roll, but he's. I'll go and roll. Okay.
Yeah, you need to be able to move.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you don't get to do anything in the first round.
Yeah, I won't. But
Dang, I am missing my lightning armor right now.
No doubt.
All right. So I think that's we're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's everybody. 6. All right. Carrot, you are up.
I will look at the dragon and say, "We just here to talk to Rictavio and or the vampire hunter, and see if there's a response."
No response.
Then is he looking aggressive? Is he looking mean? What's he doing?
He's aggressive.
Then I will. Okay, well, you tell me that if this is a free action or not. I'm not trying to do damage, but I would like to pick up a rock and throw it at the dragon.
Sure. That's what I was thinking the same thing.
If you let me, I mean, I guess that can be my action. I'm going to pick up a rock and throw it at the dragon.
Let's see here. All right, yep. Go ahead and make a. I don't know. Surely, I don't even think you really got to make it. Surely you could hit a dragon. I hope.
Yeah, I'm Carrick. You never know.
Yeah. Well. All right. Well.
A strength check to see if he can get it there.
All right.
Since you say that, I was going to give you benefit of the doubt, but okay, yeah, make a strength check to see if you're able to help this rock.
I'm here to roll dice.
No, you're about to be.
Well, that's a 9 plus 0.
Okay. Oh, then you don't get the rock there. You don't get the rock there then.
And for my movement, I'll go hide behind the wagon.
All right, Jack.
I am going to cast Otto's Resistible Dance on the
Oh my gosh, yes.
dragon. There is no save.
He sounds so much to me dancing.
Okay.
I have a dancing dragon.
A dancing dragon.
All right. So, but it just basically starts dancing.
Yep. A comic dance in place, shuffling, tapping its feet, and capering.
All right. So this dragon has now taken to dancing. And it was all. If he makes any movement, he doesn't get any. He basically is using it all to dance.
Movement to dance.
In place.
Yep.
In place.
And it has disadvantage on all dexterity saving throws and attack rolls. Actually, I don't know why I can't do attack rolls.
I love it. No, it just says it uses his movement. He can't move. It does. It's incapacitated.
Yeah, well, in that case. Surely he can't get that far.
Let's just say he's doing river dance too, though, please.
That's exactly what I was picturing in my head was a river dance.
All right.
Everybody else has attack roll advantage on attack rolls against it.
So if he wants to regain control, if he chooses to do that, he has to use it as an action to do it.
Correct.
Okay. You gonna take any movement?
I moved all the way in the back corner over here.
Oh, I got you. All right. Let's see here. Baron.
Okay, well, I had bailed into the water, so wherever that would be.
That would have been further back on the causeway, so we'll say that you're kind of off the map.
Right. I'm just asking, what would it take to get me over here?
But are you going to be swimming or are you going to climb up on the land?
I mean, whatever it takes. You tell me. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, I mean, we'd say to climb up out of the water and stuff like that, that would use your action.
Yeah, sure.
But you have all your movement. You're probably 30 feet back. I mean, that'll get you to the map.
Okay. So that's movement and action would be where? Would that be movement and action? 60 feet?
Mhm.
Get where I'm at or what? Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay, so movement was 30 feet or movement and action was 60 feet?
Yeah, you're swimming through the water to climb back up on the top of the causeway.
Okay.
Then that would be your action. Then you could take your full movement would bring you where you are on the map.
Okay, perfect. That's fine. I'm done.
Okay. All right, Drew.
All right, what's this guy's name again that we're looking for?
Rictavio.
Rictavio?
Rick Tavio is the carnival.
This is supposedly.
All right, I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna yell really loudly, Rictavio, what the hell is this? We just came to see you. Shot me with lightning and summon a dragon over here. Let us in. Knock this off.
Yeah, you won't
And
get it.
then I'm just gonna step closer to the dragon, and I'm gonna hold my action for if it's hostile towards one of us, I'll take my action.
Yeah. And Ivor, what's Ivor gonna do?
Okay. He kind of hates it, but
Let's see here. That will hit. And
take off Colossus. He hadn't taken any damage, has he?
no.
No.
So that'll be 14, 17 plus 7, 34.
How much?
17 plus 7.
17 with 7 is 24.
Yeah, 24. Sorry.
All right. Is Ivor gonna take any move?
Actually, he has one more. No, he's not gonna take movement, but he's gonna do that.
All right. That will miss.
Yeah. Okay. So he's good.
18 misses.
17.
Oh, that's right. He's at disadvantage. That's right. You're right. Tie goes to the runner. Thanks, Jack. I forgot y'all have advantage on him. So yes, that will just hit.
Okay. So 17 again.
17.
So to be clear, his arrows hit the dragon and did damage to the dragon?
Yep.
Okay, just check.
Yeah, no, I had the same thought.
Yeah.
I was flashing back to the raccoons on the island
All right, Grip.
Oh shit.
when I dropped in a hole and had a bomb thrown on me.
Sorry, I almost got murdered by a murder hornet.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Trash pandas. I'm going to move here. This dragon, it's on the ground at this point?
Yes.
I will walk up to it. And cast influence. Well, why does it do that? I wanted to do it at. Ignore that. I don't know why I did that.
I mean, is it an attack roll?
That's a saving throw, but I wanted to upcast it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. It is an attack roll. So 13.
Okay. That'll miss.
Yes, it misses. Okay, I thought it was a saving throw. My bad. But yeah, so that's what I did. And I'm going to bonus action cast Sanctuary also.
Okay.
That's a nice bonus action.
Yes, it is.
That's a really nice bonus action.
All right. This creature is going to be up.
One spell too. I'm just saying it's a level 1 spell.
Yeah, that's nice.
It can use its entire action to make a wisdom saving throw.
If it chooses, or does it have to?
If it chooses.
Okay, well, he's not going to choose to do that. He is going to see this little thing that accosted it verbally and made it dance. He's not a happy dancing dragon. So he is going to cast that in Jack's general direction.
Uh-oh.
You got to make a dex save of 16 or better.
That's a spell?
No, it's an ability.
Ability, yeah. Legendary ability.
Dex.
Yeah, I wish it was a spell.
All right, so you'll take half of that. Which is
D10.
20, was it 27?
Are you just going with the 55?
Yeah.
27. So how does that work for a constitution? For my
Oh, for your con save, it's half damage.
Half
It'd be
damage.
Half the
yeah.
damage, or 10 or better if it's less than 10.
Anyway, it's 27 points of damage, so half of that is 13. You have to beat 13.
beat a 13.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take my actions in and swing on this dude.
Okay.
There you go. Sentinel.
Well, I held my action for this,
Oh, yeah. Can you hold your action?
so I have advantage, right? So that's 20.
No, the spell's over with, so you don't have.
Well, I'm still
He's
Grim's on the opposite side.
He's
Oh yeah, for the flanking. I got you. Yeah, for the flanking.
Oh dang, 13 really.
That'll
So I did
miss.
at least 15.
Can there be more than 2 flanking people here? Just asking. Or for
The 13 one, the second one will miss, but the first one will hit. So 15 points of damage. Didn't someone else have a
hold action?
held action?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. This thing is going to, even though it's got control of itself, it's going to just hold tight. And Carrot, you're up.
Okay. I will step out from around the corner and pull on my Michael Jackson glove.
Holy hell. There goes the chat.
Cast cast Arcane Hand, Bigby's hand.
Bigby.
Bigby's hand. And I would like to grapple the dragon.
Okay.
So I need a straight. Oh, is it how big is it? Is it large?
Yeah, it's just large.
Okay, so straight up roll. Oh, nice. 24 for me.
How much?
I got a 24. I think you have to roll too. Yeah.
All right, so Bigsby's hand will be large and in charge and orange, and grab this dragon by its torso.
Yeah, and then I will. I assume I stepped out to do that, and then I will back into cover.
Okay. All right, Jack.
All right. How big would you say this wagon is? How much do you think this wagon weighs?
That's always great when the bard starts off a turn with that question.
More than 500. Come on.
The wagon. Let me see if I've got a description.
Is it a Toyota Corolla or is it like a S10? Or is it?
I mean, it's a barrel covered wagon.
I think it weighs less than 1,000 pounds.
I would think it weighs less than 1,000 pounds.
D&D, just a quick Google says 400 pounds.
There you go. I was about to go in there. I was opening up a new tab. Perfect.
All right. I'm casting telekinesis on it. I'm picking the wagon up and I'm throwing it at the dragon.
It's so great.
You're taking every time he has stuff and throwing it at the street.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not happy with our Tapio right now.
Okay.
He's the asshole.
I love it. I'm just holding it there with my Michael Jackson hand.
All right. So you picked it up.
Yep. I'm just going to whack him across the face with it.
Okay. When it lifts into the air, there's a huge explosion.
Oh, God.
Oh, right by Carrick.
What the hell is he carrying?
You would have known if you had ever looked, but I'll tell you what is in there. There was 101 alchemist flasks hanging inside, and they exploded. They were booby trapped.
101.
So any creature within, I'll put it out there. Control Z.
Kill Carrick, that would be awesome.
Control V.
100 alchemy flasks.
Oh, whatever. You got like 100 hit points anyway.
Well, I like my hit points.
Yeah.
There we go.
DC 15 Constitution, 55. Yeah.
Con save.
Yeah.
Well, the dragon takes it too.
Correct. Anybody within 30, which I believe is everybody.
Where is it?
Only Ivor takes it.
Ivor's good. Nice. 23 for me.
I'm right at 30, so I guess I take it.
All right. So Trevor will take half at 20, was that 24 again? Or 27, excuse me, 27. Same for Droot. The dragon will take 27. Jack will take 55. And then 27 for Carrick and Baron.
Really good idea.
I need to measure that real fast. I'm not sure I'm right there.
So I had to make just a 13 Constitution save to keep my concentration, right?
Yeah,
No.
that'll be 13 again. But for telekinesis, you're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I took the full 55, so it's different that time. So that doesn't make it either.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a 20. Yeah, you have to make a 20 save.
All right. So, and let me subtract the 27 from the dragon. So this giant explosion is going to rock pretty much anyone around. It's going to be a pretty large concussive blast. It was laced with lots of.
How are they booby trapped? Because I can exert fine control.
The slightest movement. I can read you the description.
That's all right.
It's the slightest movement. They were wired. If anything moved, one collapsed, and it caused an explosion, which set off the other 100 that were hanging in there.
That last sentence that really gets you, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's that last sentence there that we posted that really gets you.
Oh, yeah, I just pasted the whole thing.
Oh, I say, yeah. Treasure.
Yeah.
Is destroyed as well.
All right. So he's down as far as his 27, and as this thing explosions to smithereens, reduced to flinders. I don't know what a flinder is. That must be a typo in their stuff.
Yeah.
Cinder, maybe.
Yeah, probably meant to be cinder.
Yeah, Roll20 I've noticed has lots of typos in their stuff.
Yeah, their editing staff is being quarantined.
But I kind of like Flinders. So Flinders kind of rain down in all directions, and everybody kind of looks at Jack like, "What the hell did you just do?" And Jack's going to be kind of like, I didn't know I could do something like that. Jack thinks he's discovered a new spell, the Hand of God.
Jack's got fireball now.
Yeah. And so as that happens, are you going to take any movement, Jack?
No, I'll stay in my corner back here.
All right. Y'all have successfully triggered every single booby trap in the span of like a visit and a turn here.
That's awesome.
I'm sure there's more.
All right. So Baron,
You already said
is going to have to answer some questions when we find him.
So Baron, you're up, and you kind of wipe off the flinders and the soot, and
this is the first time he's seen flinders. He's gonna go. Oh shit! We got the wrong tool out. Okay. I think he'll take the appropriate advantage right here with the root.
all right.
Is that cool? I mean, you tell me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
And Great Weapons Master.
Jeez.
All right. Yep, that'll hit, obviously. So 27, 37, and he makes a DC 15 con save.
If he regains hit points.
Oh, sorry, I didn't read the whole. I just saw
Yeah.
the bold part.
If he regains hit points, he'll have to make a con save.
Oh, okay, man, he's not that type of dragon. So
Yeah,
what is that?
I don't think so.
37. All right, this thing is looking pretty unhappy and pretty rough.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit him one more time.
That will miss.
Okay, and one more time.
All right. That will hit, and 24. As your first hit hits, the second one misses, but then the third one, when it comes crashing down on him, you clip off a pretty big hunk of across his chest, and he starts spouting copious amounts of, dragon blood, and he appears to be he's not long for this role. He's on death's door.
Okay.
My turn?
Yeah, I'm done.
I was just coming here trying to be friendly. Meet this dude, just say hello. Take a swing at him, so I have advantage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then let's drop a divine smite on top of that.
Okay.
Let's see. So it'll be. We'll add 21 radiant damage on top of the 15 slashing.
Oh yeah, as that onslaught hits him, he is just obliterated into pieces of little dragon chunks. and he is gone.
I hope this damn dragon was like a pet, like the monkey.
like that one.
You know what? I mean, we're going there. While I have Big B's hands still up, I would like to open the door.
Just break the door down.
Bash the door in.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
just
want to
smash
talk
it.
to this fella now.
As Bigsby's hand goes up to the door, Bigsby's hand disappears.
Oh shit.
Kieran, you should open the door with that hand instead of just throwing it like that.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess I'll use half my movement to stand up.
Well, we're out of combat, so you can use all your movement.
All right, fine. I will say, well, that's interesting. And let me just go ahead and see what I can find. Well, come on. Oh, now it's being super slow. A little detect magic, huh?
Oh, the tower lights up like a Roman candle.
All right, while he does that, I'm going to yell really loudly again. Rectavio, you little shit, get your ass down here. I'm tired of this.
Specifically, is there like some magic on the door?
The
The whole tower, apparently.
The whole tower itself is encased in light, I guess. Whatever. Why is it not pulling up? But I mean, however your little radar goes when you see something magical, the whole tower itself.
What school of magic is it in?
It is
Evocation.
It's probably
If I got blasted with lightning, I'm assuming that's what it will be.
it is abjuration.
It's probably a glyph of warding, which is abjuration.
Yeah.
Okay, Dan. Oh, well, I mean, I don't know what I'm aiming at here, so I'll aim at the door, and we'll see what happens.
Roll.
All right. This particular spell is 8th level.
Oh boy, here we go. So it's,
Let's see, for each spell, the 4th
18.
level higher from 4. Yeah.
and I get a plus 13. And I rolled a 17. That's a 30.
All right. So as you do that, you'll notice that this light that it kind of pinged on your detect magic starts, the glow starts to get lower and lower, and then like a puff that you can kind of see with your Carrick X-ray vision, it goes poof.
Now I'll go knock on the door.
Just side note, Carla Jean's with us, so I don't know if she should have been in that battle or not, but
Hey, wait, did we just kill a dragon and it wasn't Ivor?
Yeah.
Ivor didn't kill it.
I think that's the first time Ivor hasn't killed a dragon. Hey, well,
he put the hurt on it. but-
Drew got to get the killing blow on that, so he can lord that over the Dragon Slayer.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Ivor put the hurt on it, but Drew killed it.
Shoot, Baron's the one that knocked him down
Yeah.
Well,
with his 3 attacks, man.
let me see here, because that she would have. I mean, unless you said she's with you, she would have been within 30
She probably
feet.
wouldn't have been in combat, huh?
Yep.
Well, she would have been with the group. I mean, unless y'all specifically would have left her.
Well, okay. No, we would not
So
specifically.
we walked
have
into
left
that. She walked into it too. Let's do it.
it. Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I
he
killed. I
didn't-
mean,
the only attack he used was at Jack.
I purposely kept Ivor away from.
Yeah, she would have suffered 55 points of damage or 27 points of damage.
Right, and so that's what I'm pulling up her character sheet right now.
Well, actually, Ivor didn't take any of it. So.
She could have saved from the 27, knocking it down to, well, I guess half that.
Let's see here. I'm looking for her sheet. Where is it?
All right, boy. In the meantime, I'm going to bed. That was fun.
Arena.
All right, man.
Let me scroll back. I forgot. Was that a con save for the fire? But when the fire went off,
That was con.
I think it was Constitution.
I was just
Yeah.
trying to be specific about that, but
yep, it was 15. It was 15.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. So she would have been. She would have been killed.
well,
Killed or downed?
Well, I mean zero, but she's at zero. Well,
Did it double her hit points?
Because
it's double her. Yeah,
She's-
she's dead. Yeah, she's dead outright.
she's dead outright.
She's dead.
she's dead then. Okay.
She's dead.
Why didn't we leave her at the bar? Carrick will turn and say to the group.
Carrie didn't care until I just mentioned that. So.
So yeah, well, that's a wrinkle.
Well, I mean, I just had to bring it up because that's what we did.
You that's fair. That's fair because you did specifically say that she was coming with y'all when y'all left.
Yeah,
town.
he did.
Instead of approaching that,
And no one anticipated Drew.
Well, I didn't understand. We didn't actually specify where she was standing in the battle either. So,
Well,
See, that's where my argument was. I'm assuming she's not going to engage in battle.
That's what we're gonna do because that would just cause all kinds of hellish problems. We're gonna say if Ivor was out far enough away to be 40 feet away out of the 30-foot blast, we're gonna assume that she was involved in the soiree, but she was far enough back that she did not get hit by the explosion.
yeah, well, she didn't get to participate in the fight either. So,
Yeah, but she would have been in the turn order, but the dragon again was focused on the people that were closest to him, so he would not have attacked her at that point.
that's totally up to you. I just wanted to bring
No,
that
I
up.
mean, he was taking the closest threats, at which he only got one attack, and that was the one on Jack. And if it stands to reason, if Ivor, as the ranger, was far enough back, I mean, she would have been involved in the turn order, but she would have been. I mean, she wouldn't have been fighting the
Yeah,
dragon.
again, I just wanted to bring that up because she's with us.
So we'll thank the Lord she's still here.
Well, that's fine, but however you want to handle that. But
No, that's working. She was there. She would have been in the turn order, but she was further than 30 feet back from the blast of the wagon.
okay. Well, that's
Because I think Ivor, when I measured, he was like 40 feet back.
yeah, he was just barely out of it.
No, so
But whatever. I mean,
all right. So yeah, you walk up to the door, and you see. Let's see here. Well, it don't really matter any. Let's see here. It's not booby trapped magically anymore, but it's still. You go to push it, and it doesn't open. So,
I'm just gonna knock on it, and then I want to investigate for traps.
well, Drew had already successfully set the trap off, but you can check for more traps.
I'm
if you want.
struck by lightning and blown up with an explosion. I'm a pissed off half-orc.
28.
All right.
All I was trying to do was knock and say hello.
All right. Yes, as you kind of, I'll show that. Is that no? Hold on. Just make sure that doesn't reveal any folder. Let me move this copy of this thing further up into something that doesn't matter, just in case. All right. So you approach the door, and this is what you see. You kind of see what appears to be some type of disc with line and what appears to be carvings of stick figures embossed on this disc that's seems to be adhesed or attached to the front of the door. You mentioned that you kind of rolled, what was it, 18 you said?
28.
28. Sorry. Let's see here. Oh, it wasn't on the sheet. I got you. You kind of check for traps. Carrick doesn't see anything besides the small lightning explosion previously that would make you think that there's anything more dangerous about this door than that's already happened. Again, you don't see anything besides visually what you see on the front of that door.
It's like the Macarena and hieroglyphics.
Yeah, it looks like some type of disc attached to the door that has these carved stick figures with lines connecting the stick figures, and they seem to be making different stances or standing different ways.
I knock on the
Okay. There's no answer.
I raise both my arms.
All right. And when you do that, the disc lights up. The perimeter of the disc lights up, and then the figure at the 11 o'clock position lights up.
Then I lower my right hand.
When you do that, the one at the 6 o'clock kind of gets a little bit of a glow.
Arms out straight, flat,
All right.
sideways.
Apparently, Carrick, in all his knowledge, has caught on, and so as you kind of mimic these in order of the line, they
take out my iPhone and video this.
I was just gonna say I gotta get closer.
the group thinks that Carrick, they've just seen him from behind. They think he's now really lost his mind. But these kind of just kind of like a faint little glow kind of light up, almost like it's like a flame from the inside or something. And when they all light up, the disc spins and the door opens.
Look inside.
All right. Let me close that. All right. All right. As you kind of open the door, as the door opens, you notice that it seems to be kind of subdued as far as light. You think you see some faint flickering of maybe candles in the furthest reaches of the room. You see what appears to be some curtains that kind of just past the door, as far as on each side, kind of on pedestals, kind of curtains that are draped over pedestals with parts of statues that have since crumbled long ago. It appears to be some type of kind of little entryway or vestibule that you're peering into.
I just put my head in the door and I said, hello? We'd like to borrow some brown sugar. Don't be alarmed. We're adventurers.
Actually, let me do this. Hold on. I forgot to open the door in the dynamic lighting. That way you can kind of...
Borrow some brown sugar?
I'm making a cake.
Don't be alarmed, we're Negroes.
Yeah. It's gotta be some barbecue sauce.
There you go. All right.
Boy. So my detect magic should still be up. It lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Is there anything lighting up in there?
Let's see here.
I'm on YouTube now.
Hold on.
There's 700 hours of people watching this. Somebody's gonna see Carrick say Negroes and done.
Oh, come on. It was a movie quote. Yeah, we just lost all that ad revenue.
All that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, demonetized.
Yeah. I'm not gonna kneel for anybody.
Like we were monetized. Now we're definitely demonetized. No, you're not gonna kneel? Are you for real?
Oh.
Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to see what kind of stuff that.
Got rid of my Bigby's hand right off the bat.
Okay. It does not detect anything.
All right.
I'm trying to read through this description of the first floor.
Yeah, I guess I'll step in. We've already looked for traps and there's no magic, so I'll walk in.
Okay.
Shit, I guess I'm gonna run up to the door and see what the hell Garrett's trying to do here.
All right. Again, this is as it appeared from the outside, kind of an old stone tower. It's pretty small. It's skinny as far as the circumference of it. You will kind of step into it, and you will kind of again see those pedestals on each side of the room that appears to be kind of with crumpled statues and things, or maybe bust head things that have since fallen and fallen apart. You notice in the room what appears to be four statues at the four corners of this structure in the middle. There appears to be some large pedestal in the middle that's flanked on each corner at each corner with these statues. You when you look to the east, excuse me, to the west, you noticed an area that appears to be have some scaffolding that kind of goes upward to what appears to be a second story. You don't see any evidence of any like actual stone steps or anything. This scaffolding is kind of suspended by ropes. Several of them have snapped or have long since become detached, but the scaffolding itself does appear to be at least, still holding, and it leads up to what appears to be goes out of sight up to a second floor.
Is there like a hole in the floor in the second floor?
Yes. Yeah, there appears to be some type of hole that leads up to where this scaffolding kind of leads up to.
Oh, not in the middle, like above this area.
No, it's you kind of see the remnants here.
So where there was stairs.
Where there was stairs, it's all collapsed since then, and some scaffolding, some wooden and rope scaffolding has been constructed in the kind of the air that leads up to where this debris where the stairs used to lead.
Kind of call back to the guys and say, "Hey, it looks clear, guys. Come on in." And I'll walk in, avoiding that center one. But I would like to go look. Are there boxes over here to the right?
Yeah, you see some old crates and things like that off to the right.
Do they light up at all?
They do not.
All right, then I'm gonna go look over here then.
Okay, I'll go tap the root and say, let's make one loop around this place and then go in.
All right, I'm fine with that.
All right.
I think if Jack sees everybody going in, he's gonna not be left out.
Yeah, Ivor's gonna go just straight in.
Like, so are you trying to detect magic? Do you see anything? These statues aren't lighting up?
Oh yeah, they didn't light up. Nothing lit up in here.
And there's no way up.
Well, there's those broken stairs that you're near.
Yeah, I
Oh,
guess
yeah,
me and the
they're
root
broken,
are gonna
so they're
make
not
one loop
stairs.
around to see if the scaffolding, all that good stuff, see if we can notice anything by walking around.
I guess let's just go ahead. I want to check these boxes for traps.
Well, hold on, I want to check the scaffolding out here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was kind of going.
Okay. As Carrick and Grim and Jack and Ivor have kind of stepped into the tower, I guess I would assume they've relayed some of this information of what they've seen in there. You, Droot and Bairn, are going to see something similar to what they are kind of describing on the outside. But this particular scaffolding looks like it was either at one point in time serviced or usable, but has since kind of fallen away from any portions of other structure that might have been out there. Like there might have been more of what would you call it, like wooden fort or something that it would have led up to, but that's since collapsed. And as Baron kind of walks around, peering up at the scaffolding, it doesn't appear to lead anywhere.
Does it look like it could support my weight or not?
Make an investigation check.
And I'm a pretty heavy guy.
How much do you weigh?
Like, I forgot.
400 pounds.
Yeah, I am pretty heavy though, for real.
Okay.
Yeah, with all this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the only way you'll know is if you investigate by climbing up and kind of easing up the scaffolding.
Oh, 6. Sorry, I hit it twice.
Yeah.
6.
Belay on.
All right. So Drew looks at it and goes, "I look sturdy to me."
I just want to kind of step on the ladder, I guess.
Okay. Specifically, I do need to know how much you weigh.
I think I'm like 260.
Oh, then as you kind of climb up the portion that you start climbing up collapses. But you didn't make it.
I would kind of do a test, you know, like
I said, you were kind of putting your weight on it, and the portion that you pull on to kind of climb up collapses, and you just kind of land, right back on your feet.
Yeah. Okay.
And you establish that this will not support any sustained weight. At least
So
by
I'm 210. That's what I'm 210.
Okay, that's more than the.
So, and we said, how tall was this tower?
It's by your estimation, when you kind of look at it, roughly between 80 and 95-ish feet.
No windows, no nothing.
No, like I said, you see some areas where there appears to be where stones are missing, but no formal windows or anything like that.
Gotcha.
This was made for what you can tell, not like a standard tower where it's people want to view out. It's more like it's to hide things within.
Yeah, I'll just tell Drew, let's stop fucking around. Let's go inside.
All right. Okay. I'm not gonna argue with you there. I want to find this dude.
I know.
I'm pissed off. I've been blasted. I just wanted to say hello, and I was not greeted pleasantly.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all will kind of work your way in and be greeted with the same view that Carrick described to you of this kind of rickety makeshift scaffolding that has been put in place in lieu of the stairs that have long since crumbled away or been destroyed. And it kind of leads up to an area where it looked like the stairs connected to a hole that kind of a chiseled hole that kind of looks like it leads up to a second story. Or to the second story of the tower, and so that's what you'll see. So if you're going to make your way up, I guess that's what you're doing.
Yeah. I don't see why not. I mean, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I hear anybody?
So who
Investigate those boxes.
Okay. You go and take a look at the boxes. You can roll for investigation.
Yeah, 16.
All right. You don't see anything that makes you think that they're booby trapped.
All right, I start opening the boxes.
All right. You just find various debris and things. There's nothing of note in those.
All right, moving on. What about these statues? Can I look at those real quick?
Yeah, sure.
20.
All right. As you kind of look at these statues, you notice that there's quite a bit of cobweb and debris that's kind of piled around their base. But then you also notice that portions of debris has kind of fallen above on parts of it, as far as things like pieces of wood and rope and things. But as you kind of take a closer look at it, you notice something that you didn't notice before, that this pedestal that they stand at the four corners of, at this pedestal, there appears to be chains attached to these pedestals that kind of lead up to what appears to be the solid ceiling.
How far up would that ceiling be?
That ceiling would be roughly 20 feet high.
I'm going to put a box on the pedestal.
Okay. Do we need to make a roll whether you're strong enough to pick up a box? As you place the box on this pedestal, these statues begin to move, and they grab these chains almost as if on cue and begin to pull the chains. And as they do that, the pedestal begins to rise. And as you kind of look up, you notice that a portion of the wall above moves. It kind of slides to one side, and these statues are kind of continue to pull these chains as this pedestal is raised to the ceiling into the hole, what appears to be going to the second floor.
I didn't have a chance to jump on it.
I should say, as soon as it starts moving, I would either try and take the box off or push it with my mage hand or something.
Okay, all right, that's fine. What do you want to do?
Like, I would have jumped on the pedestal.
Well, okay, well, you jump on the pedestal while Carrick is, you said you're going to push, you use mage hand.
I might be confused about what triggered that, but.
Well, that's what Baron would do. I mean, Baron would jump on it just as it begins to move.
Yeah.
Is that what you said you do? All right.
Yeah.
And Carrick said that the first thing you would do is try to knock the box off with your mage hand. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. So I guess you can picture Indiana Jones at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. You have a little bit of sand swapping back for the idol. Carrick pushes the box off, and it for a moment seems to stop just as Baron throws himself on there, and the weight of him continues to trigger the chains, the statues to kind of pull on these chains, and Baron begins to rise to the ceiling.
Sweet.
And Baron is going up, unless anyone says anything else.
No, I mean, what's above me? I'm looking above me. What's above
Yeah,
me?
as you look up, again, you saw the same thing that everyone else is going to see as they're standing. Is a portion of the ceiling has kind of slid away, and it almost seems to be a hole that, as you raise to it, that this pedestal is rising directly into that hole, almost like an elevator.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So Baron continues to rise as everyone looks up, watching him. And I guess if he's got anything that he wants to shout down to his friends, if not, he continues to rise up to the second floor.
Yeah, I'll say there's a hole up here. So I can
And
Back down. Bye.
and
I was
with
kind of
that,
watching in amazement, like what the hell's happening right now?
Baron knows magic.
and say it again.
I said Baron knows magic.
All right. Yeah, I know magic.
That's literally what I was thinking. Drode's gonna be like, Lord Baron's learned magic.
Finally.
Yeah,
That really is what I was thinking in my head. Like, what would Drode do? He'd be like, Baron's learned magic.
All right. As you get up to even to this thing, you notice that the pedestal that you're kind of sitting on, being pulled by the chains, rises even with the second floor, and it's continuing to move up. Are you going to continue to stand on it or step off?
You know what? I'll probably continue up.
Okay. So as you pass, you decide to stay on this pedestal, and as you do so, you kind of take a look at this room, and you notice it's filled with dust and cobwebs and appears to be otherwise empty. A lot of the floor looks to be pretty badly rotted and partially, decaying the stone, the portion that you see. Got rotted moss and things like that. The only thing of note is this portion of the floor that you've passed through. As you move up, you hear something, and it sounds like stone moving. It seems to be coming in two different directions. You see the stone above you seems to be moving as well. It kind of moves out of the way and your pedestal moves up. And as you do that, the group below you lose sight of you as that pedestal, that part of the ceiling above them closes.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Hey,
continue.
Carrick, where'd Baron go?
Total eclipse of the Baron. And you move up to a third floor.
I do feel bad because I feel like Jared gave us like tons of hints that we should not let him go alone.
Hey, he jumped on, man.
Yeah.
I feel like he kept giving us opportunity after opportunity. Like, are you sure this is what you're doing? Nobody's going with him. Nothing's gonna happen.
I jumped on.
I mean, I was gonna, but it's cool, whatever.
All right. As you kind of come even with this, you pass to the third floor. You see little narrow slits in the wall that they don't appear to be windows, almost like spy slits or things that maybe someone would shoot
For an archer.
They're called murder holes.
They're called murder holes.
Yeah, like for an archer.
They're called.
There you go, murder holes. They're very, very narrow slits, but you are able to catch a glimpse of light outside. And portions of, again, stones missing and things like that. As you pass, become level with this room, you notice that the walls kind of have a slimy black mildew on the stone. Everything seems to be becoming more and more rotted the higher that you go. The chains continue to move, but as you kind of look up, where they connect to the floor and above you, where they connect to the ceiling, it seems to be getting more and more rust. And as you become level with that, are you going to continue to ride it up, or are you going, because it's continuing to move, or are you going to step off?
Is it? I mean, it's still there's stuff above us.
You're still moving.
Oh shit. Okay. For a more detailed image of this place, still, you call them murder holes, like arrow slots, like for archers and stuff like that.
Yeah, very, very narrow areas where, I mean, again, for visual, if you'd probably say something maybe about an inch. I mean, excuse me, about 2 inches or so, like very narrow. You could put your hand through, but it's unless you were right up to it, looking out of it, you wouldn't be able to see.
What about
That's a longer one.
that? Okay. When I look up, what do I see?
Stone that is, as you've now kind of passed the flush level of the third floor, you've continued, by standing on this thing, you've continued to move up. You begin to see the ceiling above you move in a similar fashion. Stone slide to the side.
Okay.
You got this, Baron.
Yeah. I'm gonna badge everybody but Drew because he didn't have a badge, and say,
Yeah.
I'm about two floors above you, heading up.
Good luck.
Okay. So you're gonna stay on it?
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm gonna look over at Carrick and be like, "Hey, so how do I get up there, Carrick? You're the smart guy."
I guess we have to wait our turns. I mean, somebody's taking the team conveyance all the way to the top.
That wasn't my intention, but it's what's happening.
We'll just wait here. We'll wait our turn. There'll either be a corpse that comes back down or nothing at all.
I think it'd probably be a corpse.
All right. As you get closer to the ceiling, this stone slab is kind of pulled away, and
This stone slab is going up. How big is it?
it's roughly about 5 feet by 5 feet by 5. I mean, it's 5 feet in diameter.
Okay. Drew, how big are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm like 5'11", 6 foot.
All right.
He's
I'm gonna walk. the pillar as it's going up. I'm going to cast Stone Shape in it and make me a indention in this that is 5 feet tall and about 3 feet in. I don't want to collapse the pillar. I just want to make a pocket in it, and I want to put Groot in it.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Grim like I have no idea what you're doing, but I trust you, man.
All right. So
I think it's still going up, right? He can get to at least the next level.
Later, a platform with chains, I thought.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a platform with chains. It's not a pillar.
no, it was a platform that was on the ground, and when Carrick investigated, he's kind of was able to see past all the debris of that. There were chains adhesed to the corners of these this pillar corners.
I misunderstood that. My bad. Then no, we can't do that shit.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. All right. So Baron is going to ride this as he kind of rises to the fourth floor.
Cool.
So
Where's
Where
the fourth
Dragon
floor?
is waiting for.
And as he raises to the fourth floor, as he kind of crosses the threshold and gets the platform, this pedestal gets even with the floor, it stops. And you've come to a rest as you stand there on the pedestal. And kind of what you see is that this particular level is different than from all the others. You notice that there are it's far nicer. When I say nicer, it doesn't necessarily reek of mold and mildew. It appears to have some creature comforts. There's a bed, chair, some tapestries and things. There's a large stove with plenty of wood. It appears that someone has been living here. That there's obviously signs of habitation. And you kind of see again this bed and the stove and things like that. There's a suit of armor that's over behind the desk, and that's kind of what you see at this moment. You see these same slits that are all along the wall, as if almost kind of like spy holes, murder holes.
Right. I see him. Can I hear anything besides maybe the fire?
Make a perception check.
Perception.
Oh, dang.
Nice.
You, as the fire in the stove kind of crackles and stuff, you do hear something that sounds like movement in this general direction.
That on the bed?
Yes, in the vicinity of the bed, yes.
Can I see anybody in the bed?
It does not appear that there's anyone in the bed.
And past the bed is a wall?
Yeah, on the other side is the stone wall.
But I perceive something moving in the bed, but I can't see it.
No, he said you heard something that sounded like movement.
But okay, I heard.
Yeah, you heard. You didn't
let's
see
say
any movement. It sounded like like something moving, or you just heard something like a shifting.
Yeah. Well, if I hear a shifting, can I see a shifting?
No, you don't. You don't see anything. It doesn't appear that anyone's in the bed.
All right. Polymorph. Bat out of the window.
You're gonna have to be a really, 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 really thin bat
To get out of a arrow slot?
I mean, how big is this bat? I don't know what size bat we talking about.
Regular bat.
It's a little bat.
Tiny.
Okay,
Bats are like mice with wings.
sure. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. All right. Like I said, these are about 2 inches wide. So I guess if it can get through 2 inches, we're fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is.
A D&D bat is a tiny creature.
Okay, perfect. Then you will fly out of you'll turn into a bat, and you will fly out of one of the little slits. And as you do that, as your pressure comes off of the pedestal, it will begin to descend, and the group down below will see the chains beginning to move in the opposite direction.
Oh, here we go, boys.
Yeah.
What if Ivor shoots Baron as a bat?
You have to be really good at shooting to shoot me as a bat. Hey, he can try though.
Like a bat comes flying towards us and Ivor just shoots an arrow at it.
He would know better. Maybe he can definitely try that. I was just
messing around.
I would just come out of my bat form at that point.
Yeah.
All right, so are you flying back down to ground level?
Yeah, I'm going back down to them.
Okay. All right. All right. So you'll return, and to their surprise, as they're kind of standing and watching these chains kind of move, and you get down there much faster than your trip up. And are you going to stay in bat form, or when you hit the ground, you come out?
Oh
of bat
no,
form?
I'm gonna come right back to myself.
Okay, you'll walk in through the front door behind them, and they're going to do a double take.
Yeah, Baron, what the hell? I just watched you disappear. He does know magic. Baron knows magic.
Well, he's got some magic, yeah. He's magic.
As y'all kind of stand there for a few moments, y'all can engage in conversation, and at some point, y'all will hear the noise above you as the ceiling kind of opens, and this pedestal descends back down to ground level.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them. I think three levels up. There's probably a vampire or something up there. It's invisible, sleeping on a bed. Oh, I just didn't want to encounter it by myself, so I came back down.
Here's a question. Could it have been hiding under the bed?
No, it was moving on top of the bed.
I never said there was any movement on top of the bed.
That's what Baron just told us. So we think
like 3 times. You heard movement in this direction.
But invisible vampire is sleeping in the bed.
But I said I specifically asked, can I see the movement?
I specifically said, no, you can't see any movement. I can say, yeah, it's hiding under the bed, but I mean,
We'll review the tape.
I'm going to be like invisible. Drew, don't talk to the invisible vampire on the bed.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter.
Well, look, if there's a vampire up there, I want to go kill it.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
I forgot. That's what we do now.
Well, that's what I've always done, except for when they charm me. They can be so damn charming.
Can we all fit on this thing when it comes back down, or are we going to have to take multiple trips?
I mean, it's 5 feet in diameter, so I would assume that probably if y'all hug really tightly, maybe 3 of y'all could get on.
So Grim can get on my shoulders.
Well, I will also mention to character that there was a desk full of papers and
I'm jumping on. Y'all better come with me.
stuff like that.
I like papers. I'm ready.
If there's a vampire up there, I definitely want to go see the vampire.
All right, let's do.
I'm gonna have to let y'all have it. I'm gonna have to go get some sleep. It's well past my bedtime tonight.
Well,
Yeah, we can probably hit pause.
Probably.
Yeah, this
I think
might be a good time.
we've scouted. We did a scouting trip.
It's almost 1 o'clock.
So we know there's an invisible vampire on the bed.
There's
Well,
an invisible vampire.
obviously, it's not invisible vampire.
100%.
But something was moving up there, and I wasn't willing to
I don't know.
participate.
There, I wish.
I like the idea of an invisible vampire in
No,
the bed,
I
though.
just wasn't going to be a willing participant in that encounter.
No, I hear you.
I was just describing. You heard something. You didn't see anything.
That's hilarious.
Okay.
We'll go up there together, boys. We'll figure it out.
That is what Baron would probably say when he came down. He's like, "There's
100% yes.
And Drew will totally believe him.
100% yes. Not even a question.
Yeah.
So wait, to be clear though, Cram, is there another way up? Like, is there a staircase around the outside that the stairs are just gone?
There are. It's in the description. It's kind of destroyed scaffolding.
I mean, it leads to like a hole in the, like you could walk up there if there were stairs, right?
It looks like someone, has tried to build scaffolding on the outside, but it's all rickety now as Droot. There are portions of it that are missing on every floor.
That's on the inside. Is there another way in on the inside?
Oh, on the inside would be the scaffolding that you saw on the bottom floor.
That's what I'm saying. Is there like was there once a staircase on the inside that wrapped around?
There was at one point, correct.
So there's a second hole in the ceiling.
Yes.
Okay.
So we can just mend the scaffolding.
Yeah, I can do it. One log at a time. I can mend it.
One foot section at a time.
That's fine. All right, boys.
Yep. That was fun.
All right, guys.
It was interesting, at least.
Yeah, me too. I gotta be up early.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Hi.
Later.